Good morning. Today is the 13th of August and this is the Cranleigh Lions Classic Car Show at Cranleigh in Surrey. This is part 3 of a slightly shambolic shuffle. I do apologise in advance if I get things wrong, which happens all the time, if I fall over, if there's wind noise. Generally this is a terrible video. I'm afraid it's just the way that it goes on this channel. I've just spotted this rather nice Simca. The design generally is known as the Simca 1100, but this is a 1204 model. Plate from this is 70 to 71. It's quite an early one of these. They lasted in one form or another until about 1985. The last variant of it was the van, but actually we saw it professionally exceptional. So the engines in this, there's a Simca Poissy engine in this, and those lasted again till the mid-1980s in things like the Talbot Solara and Talbot Alpine and Horizon and things like that. That is in really nice condition. It's very rare as well. 1967 Volkswagen 1500. It's just before they actually introduced the sort of upright headlamps, and this has got Porsche wheels on as well, like so many of these tend to do these days. But we've got Chevrolet Apache. I'd say this is around sort of 1958, something like that. Could be wrong, like I am about so many things, of course. And we've got 1958 Morris Minor. Yes, it's still got separate indicators for these. I think originally some of these had trafficators and things like that. If this is a real convertible, that'll be worth an awful lot of money. Yes, so clap pan wipers, probably the 948cc in that. Volvo Amazon, 121 Amazon, 1966. One thing I've noticed about this show is that there aren't any Volvo owners clubs actually here, so all the Volvos you see around will be people who are just bringing them on an individual basis. But yeah, it's very nice condition, that Amazon. 1927 Essex Super 6, and it's for sale. So call 07701 039 050. I think these are an American type of car, but obviously right-hand drive and over here as well. I don't know if they've officially sold them here. Someone maybe be able to tell me that. Fully refurbished.
It's an Essex, one of the roads.
Splitty, 1966. Relatively late for one of these. Can't remember how many windows this has. This has 10 windows. So 5 on each side. R107 Mercedes-Benz SL. The automatic gearbox and the sort of classic interior for these. Plate on that is 82, 83. Another one of these Mark 1 Escorts. Of course, we're going to be seeing an awful lot of these here today, aren't we, viewers? A great deal of them. 7172 registration. That's a 380 SL way back Mercedes. Mark 2 console. I've seen quite a few of these already today. Don't know if this is a low line or a high line. I can never tell the difference between them. So don't ask me, viewers, because I will get it wrong anyway. This is its sort of cousin from about the same era. So these came out in about 56. And this is a 56 Fairlane from America. It's funny that see the size difference between what Ford thought the Americans wanted and what Ford thought the British people wanted. You can see it's an appreciably bigger car than that console, but very similar in styling. In fact, the rear window treatment is almost identical. Another one of these Mark II consoles here. These had the 1.7 engine, the Zephyrs and Zodiacs had a much larger engine. Rover P5B, this one is a saloon, 1968-69 registration. Ooh, and a beige leather interior with wood. I do like a nice beige leather interior. Like everyone we've seen so far today. This is it. This is zircon blue. This one. 1983 to 1984 Mercedes-Benz C123. Coupe version of the W123. This one is a 280 CE, which has the 6-cylinder engine. 1971 to 72 Fiat 500L, one of the later ones with the doors that open the conventional way round. People keep sort of talking about these to me, and I say I just don't want to actually drive one because I won't be able to fit in it, and that looks like the case. There we go. So just hold this piece of paper down right on touch the car. 1971 Fiat 500L for sale, 07770 776 770. Someone pay for the number or something. Very appropriate. 650 engine and LED lights, which are probably better than the standard ones. Ooh, a Rover 600. Now we're in the right sort of area, aren't we? It's an early one, actually, this. You can tell by just various tiny design elements. It's a 620 GSI. It's a 93. Gosh, this is a very, very early one. I used to have a 620 GSI myself, an automatic one like this. This is an extremely early one because the steering wheel is not got an airbag in it, so it's a very early one of these indeed. Only I think the 63 GSI at this stage actually got the airbag. Personal plate, of course, a little bit earlier than the car. Chevrolet Corvette Stingray, I think we saw this yesterday, Cranleigh, 1971-72 registration. That is just amazing, isn't it? About this, what on earth is this? Let's just pause a second here whilst I check something. So it's a 2001 Audi A4. For some reason in military spec, I don't quite know why. It's a very early one for this model actually. And it's got, for some reason, a beige leather interior with wood, which you know, appeals to me. What maybe doesn't appeal to me is maybe the price of £3,800. Maybe, yeah, that needs to be revising possibly. What doesn't need revising at all is this Lotus Cortina. This is a. Did they make a four-door Lotus Cortina? Maybe this is not a real one. 64. I think this is a pre-airflow one. Yeah, 64. Another one of these Jeeps with all the equipment you could ever need in your life on the back, and some ammo cases and all sorts of things. (1967) Ford Anglia with some Marine Light wheels on it. The interior has been taken out for something else entirely. I don't know what those seats are out of actually, I'm not sure. But yeah, 67, the very last year they made them. There's something a little bit older here. Austin 6. Now that was because it had a 6-cylinder engine, so it'd be like a, dear, like 12 I think they were called, I can't remember now. The 30s. And another PA Cresta. They did also make a Velox version of this, so I suppose it could be, but more likely to be a Cresta. Now this actually, in contrast to the other two cars, is a later one. You can tell because the rear window is actually in one piece, as opposed to the earlier ones that had the separate pieces on the window. So it'd be after about 1960, I think. So yeah, 123E Anglia here, 1967. 1200 Super. And this looks to me like a Morris 8, I think this one is. I'm not sure it's a standard 8, I do apologise. I should have known by the grille. Yeah, it's the flying standard 9, sorry, not an 8. That was terrible, wasn't it, viewers? Absolute and utter shambles, as usual. Another one of these Fiat 500Ls, again the same sort of era. 1971 to 72. With a little sort of overriders on it. Some kind of custom Ford Deuce Coupe. Almost fell over in a hole there, viewers. Another one of these side valve Fords, or what was a side valve Ford. I doubt very much whether this has still got original side valve engine in it, bearing in mind the sort of custom paintwork and interior that's got. This is a rare thing. It's a Mark 1 Capri that's not in concourse condition. I think this is a facelift one as well, actually. 1600. Normally the trim badge might be on the back or something. Yeah, it's a 600 XL, 7273 registration. Yeah, it has got the face of the rear lights, I think, that one. And then we've got a 2001 Mini Cooper Sport 500. It's not made in 2001 because they actually finished production in 2000, but registered in that year because they had quite a few left over. And that is rather nice. You might see another one of those at some point. This is a show, isn't it? This, who knows? Looks like some kind of hill climb special or something. That something exceptionally rare here, viewers. 1967-68 Honda S800. Gosh, I can't remember the last time I saw one of these. That is that's remarkable, isn't it? Wow. Something a bit more common here, Triumph Stag. This is a Mark 1 Stag actually, on an L 7273. But I can tell actually by the interior lights, the later Stags had one interior light, this has actually got two on either side. Having driven a Stag quite recently, I quite enjoyed it, although the steering I just found a little bit light for my taste. Series 2A Land Rover here, 1967 to 1968. And yeah, one of the sort of later ones with the headlamps in the grille. By 69 then moved to the wings, although in some export markets they'd been moved there earlier. TVR, yeah, S2, I think this might be like an S3 or an S4. Olive interior rather than a beige one. 1993-94. 1967 Morris Minor 1000 two-door saloon. I forget the name of this colour, but it was similar to the one my mother had. She had a two-door in this colour back in the day. 1983-1984 Toyota Celica. Look at the sort of originality of this in terms of the wheels and things. It's had some body filler and things. It doesn't matter though, does it really? Yeah, Celica, 5-speed gearbox. Very, very kind of typical early 80s Japanese condition. Sorry, styling and sort of accessories and things. Wow. Jaguar E-Type 4.2, 1966, Series 1 Roadster. Someone's brought their child along for the fun, which is what today's all about. Fun day with the family. Then 1979 to 80, Ford Cortina Mark 5. It actually came out in 79, although the work of a Cortina 80. And apparently it's for sale. It's 1.6 Pinto, she's a gem, 07939 051262. Another Mark 1 Escort, this time a 4-door 7273 registration. Next to another Mark 1 Escort, why am I not surprised? 2-door, probably going to be modified from whatever spec it was originally. Yeah, 6970 on an H. Exceptionally early Rover P5B Saloon. 67. Again zircon blue, but there's 3 zircon blue P5B saloons here today. It's crazy. 1968 to 9, Austin A55 Cambridge van. I can't remember the actual name for these. It was based on the old A55 Cambridge, but they continued for an absolute age with both Morris and Austin badges until I think 1973, although the A55 Cambridge was discontinued in 1959, so a very, very long kind of life in that way. Triumph TR8 1979 to 80. Is this for sale by any chance, viewers? Yes, it is. Call 07813 896157. A bit more power than the standard 2 litre. And we have Mercedes SL. Forget the model code for these actually now. Not sure. Then extremely late Mark 1 Cortina GT 67 plate, although these finished production in 66. So it must be a late registration, this one. The airflow ventilation and everything on this. And a nice full width grille. 1979 to 80 Ford Escort van, which had something special dropped into it, but isn't the original engine. I think that's a Pinto, but I could be totally wrong. The Mark II Escort van and the estate continued until 1981, and they were just a modification of the Mark I actually, because it's just the front end that's been changed. The rest of it is just a Mark I estate or van. So I bet that's pretty fast. More old Fords here. 1971-72 Ford Cortina 2000 GXL. Did we see this in Cranleigh yesterday, viewers? We might have done. Seems that lots of cars are at both shows. 1975-76 Mini. Goodness knows what this originally was. It's something else now. 1982 to 83 Mini, which had earlier light lenses put on it, because originally those would have had reversing lights in them. Ford Anglia 105E. Don't know what year this is. Who knows? And then a Bedford, I think this is a Bedford J1. Oh, J-Type 62. Found in a sorry state in Southampton. Shame, viewers, we can't talk anymore about it because it has an engine that the Mayor of London does not like, so we'll have to skip on. Morris Minor 1000. Little 2-door. That is after 1964 because it's actually got a steering wheel in it, but perhaps that's the original plate. It could be, because until 1965 you didn't need to have a suffix plate. They were adopted by many local authorities in 63 with the A registration and 64 to B, but some local authorities have decided to keep going with the older style plates until they had to take on the C registration in 65, so who knows. The latest steering wheel came in October 64, so it could be a late 64 actually, about an original plate, or it could be a personal plate, I don't know. Volkswagen Caddy, 1989 to 90. Goodness knows what's in there. We've got some, I think, Mark II Golf GTI wheels and the bottle cap wheels, I think they're called. Triumph Vitesse, this is a 1.6, it'd be a Mark I Vitesse, I think. Now an extremely rare car here. This is a Buick Reatta. These were made in America, for the American market, never officially imported here. This one would have been imported in 2018 because the registration is very similar to Ian Seabrook's former Dacia, There's G501 ATL. This is G477 ATL. So ported in 2018, but this is 1989. The engine is a heavily revised version of design sold to Rover. Really? That's a V8. I'm not sure about that views. Right, 1969 to 70, Lotus Elan plus 2. It actually says Elan plus 2 on it anywhere. No, it doesn't. Interesting, got some gloss of a cracking going on, but if you were that age, you'd probably be cracking as well. Ford Popular from the mid-50s. Is that an information sheet? No, it's just somebody who's attached the windscreen in a very efficient way. 1976-77 Triumph Stag. Very late one. Made some sort of small changes to these before they went off sale in 77. I've seen them though on an S, so it's not one of my very last ones. Yeah, with the black panel on the back, that's sort of correct I think. 19 whatever, something, splitty Volkswagen. Goodness knows what year that is, I have no idea. Somebody tell me in the comment section below. Ooh, Capri 2.8 injection. Have a look at the. We'll have a look at it. It's a Janspeed 2.8 turbo. Ooh, and I think we've seen this before, haven't we, viewers? A little model there. Lots of accessories and all kinds of interesting things. Oh yeah, we've got the rotating thing. Yeah, we've definitely seen it before, haven't we? Much earlier Capri here, pre-facelift. The facelifted Mark 1s had different rear lights to this. The Capri was promised itself 50 years old. I was at that 50th birthday of the Capri at Brooklands in 2019. This is a 1.6 XL. Then we have some more Mark III Capris. Ooh. It's an automatic one. Then we've got an injection that's trying to trip over this barbecue cylinder here. It's a very early one, it's 81 to 82 with the pepper pot wheels. I've driven one of these, it was a 4-speed. This is a little later gearbox, it's got a 5-speed gearbox in it, but this should have the 4-speed in it if it's on an X. Everything else shows pretty correct. May have originally actually been owned by Ford themselves. The one I drove was 82 on an X like this, but it was a 4-speed. Much later one here. This has been modified to Cosworth spec. It shouldn't say S on the side though for one like this. The S's were discontinued in 1984. The last one was the 2-litre S. So it is a 2-litre. Yeah, because the Cosworth was a 2-litre engine, but it's not an ABS. The S's were discontinued a long time before that, so this would maybe started life as like a laser or something, I don't know. But yeah, 86, 87 registration. They finished production in 1986 in December. Chevrolet Stepside, I think they called these. Silverado, yep. I hope that's not a forbidden fuel engine in their views. Then we have a Pontiac Bonneville from 1959. Look at the size of this, it's so wide. I bet parking that is not the easiest. Look at that. And then we have some kind of 1963 sort of big estate thing. Custom Ford then. There's a Chevy Custom something. Answer the comment section below. Much earlier Mark 1 Cortina there from about 67 we saw. This has just the console name on it and the early grille, so this could be anywhere from about 62 to 64. That's just the normal deluxe, so originally maybe the 1200 deluxe. 1965 Ford Mustang with extraordinary interior. Someone's very wisely put some suntan lotion in there. Caterham Super 7 16 valve super light R300. Is this like a 99 or something? Don't know. Ooh, very nice views. Jaguar XJS 1989 to 90. Oh yes, and a beige leather interior with wood and piping. I do like a nice beige leather interior. Very much along the lines of what we like on this channel. Ooh, here we go. It's a 1990. 3.6. Later ones were 4 litre. Very nice, viewers. Has it got a manual gearbox in it? Oh, it's a manual. Mr. Coleman, rubbish mechanic, would be very, very happy to see that. I shall take a picture of it for him. Another one of these Caterham Super 7s. This is DVA powered, and I don't know what that means actually. But I know if you're a passenger, you've got to stay away from that exhaust. My gosh, that's going to burn you severely if you're not careful. Another Ford Mustang here, 1967. The automatic gearbox. And we've got Morgan here, 2010 to 11 plate, but it could be a personal one. It says MOG on it. What model this is? Sometimes its borders don't tell you. Who knows? 1968 to 1969 Ford Escort Mark 1, badged as a GT, 2-door, 5-speed gearbox. So we've had some modifications done at some point and some nice CPA spot lamps. Ooh, this I think is a Fiesta Mark 1 Super Sport. It's too early for an XR2. I think they were made in 1981, all of these. Yeah, it is a 1.3 Super Sport. Very nice. Another Mark 1 Cortina with the aeroflow ventilation at the back. The facelifted front end, I should think. Yep. Was right for a change. 1988 to 89 Ford Escort Mark IV XR3i. Classic sort of colour for those. And a Metro. I think this is a GTA. Yes, it is. My godfather had one of these back in the day. Registered in Morden. So yeah, 94 or 95, that one. There's the back of the XR3i. I think the wheels are actually off a Rover 100 GTA. But it doesn't matter though. The Rover 100s and these are very similar. As it says, it is a Polo bread van, late Mark II, pre-facelift, so 1990, so right at the end of the pre-facelift production, and still no brake servo because Volkswagen decided that didn't need a brake servo for the right-hand drive market. They've only fitted it to the facelifted cars. 1971, so very, very late. Morris 800 weight van, never badged as a minor but known as a minor van respectively. Let's see if it has the yeah, there we go, it's actually got the ignition switch on the steering column. It's a very late one indeed then. British Air Ferries. And then this MGB, that is a massive anomaly. So that's an 85 plate or something, so I don't know what the story going on here is. It is an LE, but this car clearly was unregistered for a long time because otherwise you wouldn't be able to have a plate like this on it. Yeah, so made in 1980. I've seen these up to sort of 83 registered, but never seen one this late. That's extraordinary. So 85, 86 registered, that one. And there's a Rover 2000, 1968, 69, which is it's nice. Like, it's an auto, like one I've driven. Yeah, I drove one of these. It belongs to Alex from the Alex's Assets channel. Hers is slightly earlier than this. Right, I think that's it for part 3. Thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment below, and we shall see you again soon for more incorrect information.